So, you want to build a Camry like this car right here. And today, that's what we're doing. But before we can have this engine in it, all that other stuff, we gotta start from the beginning. This is my 90-something Toyota Camry. And it's about to become a derby car. We're going to start building it. Today's Tuesday at about 6 o'clock. The derby's Saturday at about 6 o'clock. So we got a little under a week to get this thing going. Here's the kicker. Engine's locked up. We gotta swap it. So not only are we having to build to the rules, we gotta swap the engine in 4 days. So that's always fun. See, you see this little guy? This little 4 cylinders of awesomeness. He don't turn. He don't like to turn. He's a very sleepy man. So we gotta rip his ass out tonight. Cause I need him out tonight and the other one back in tomorrow. So let's get started. Alright guys, so while getting everything off this engine so I can get it out, I see this little rubber foam piece. And I'm like, oh, I better move that. So as you can see, that's a fucking rod. That's why it's locked up. This engine is trashed. I figured it was just rusty on the inside, but no. No, she's gone. There's part of the block. I guess it's got a quick check for bearing clearance. Just reach in there and feel it. Make sure it feels alright. So, let's keep on working on getting this thing out. Alright guys, not only is it a completely different thing, it's actually 2 days since you last seen me worked on this OP. So, yeah, it's Thursday now. I'm just now getting this engine out after lots of cuss words and big old prop bar on the CV axle over here. You're probably wondering why I chose to pull it up top. Other than that I'm retarded, I don't really know. I didn't want to drop the subframe because I don't have a lift. You know, I would have done that if I had a lift, but I don't. And the engine's locked up, so I can't spin it to unbolt the torque converter. So once we get it out, I'm gonna have to set it down and pop it apart and pull the torque converter out with the engine. This main reason I pulled it this way. So let's yank this whole pig out. Alright, you are not here to watch me argue with this engine. You're here because you want to know how to build a Camry. And one of the most important things when it comes to building these cars is this right here. This is a simplified harness. It doesn't stop it from shutting down. It's a misconfigured thing, misunderstood thing. People think if you got some flat harness it will shut off. It will still get hot and shut off, but it eliminates security and a couple other things, and it's way better. And this one that I'm running on, this engine, somebody made before me, so I'm not going to take it back off. But you can buy this offline. It's got this little plug, plugs in on one end to the PCM, and then this plugs in, you just send power to it, and it powers your PCM. And it's the simplest way of doing it. I think this thing's like 80 bucks, which, you know, you probably don't want to spend that. This is probably one of your first builds if you're watching this video. You're only building a Camry because everybody said they're the best. They're not W-bodies. And then, you want to get rid of this AC, this fuck AC. You got your AC delete belt, part number 5050390. And that's pretty much it on the engine. This one right here just was locked up as the other one, so I still got to figure out something about that. But let's dive into some of the other parts you're going to need for a simple Camry build. I'm building to pretty much tire swap, bumper swap class, so I'm not going too crazy with plates or nothing like that. Now that you've bought simplified harness, you're going to need a fuel cell. Relocate that tank, get it up from out from underneath the car for safety reasons. This is a little 5-gallon tank. I think I bought it years ago off Jeffrey's Fab Farm. You just take your original pump, set it down in there, hot wire it. You know, just move your ground over here, and then you'll send this to power. Put it on switch. Fill it up right there. It's a pretty nice tank, and I don't think it was too expensive years ago. 150 bucks. You know, you use it for the rest of your life. So worth it investment instead of trying to cheap out. Because I've cheaped out before and bought Amazon ones, not worth it. Now that you've got everything to make this thing run, you need some sand. So everybody's favorite, throw your header on it. It's 4-cylinder, easy to get to. You know, makes it loud, makes it noisy, makes it more enjoyable to drive. So you get to watch the flames shoot up. And then with Camrys, I really don't think it matters one way or another if you put one in it or not, because they have a floor shifter. But I'm going to put a shifter in this one. I had one laying around. I'm going to throw it in there. Makes it a little bit more just bam, bam, instead of being down here, which floor shifter is in these cars factory, so it's not a major deal like a W body where you're trying to rack it back and forth on the column. And then the thing that everybody loves on these Camrys, and they're my favorite, Galaxies. Look at that tread pattern. Them things are meant to grab. Everybody loves a good Galaxy on these things. Now that you got your front tires, you need you some rears. I've got 2 sets. I got this set you're seeing now, and I've got this other set. They're a little bit more forklift style. I prefer the second set, but they are currently on debatably the better of the derby cars. A W body. That's my prized possession, old sandbagger car. Love that thing. It hates me though. Now that we went over everything we're putting on this car, we gotta start taking stuff off. We gotta get the headlights, bumpers, stripped off, mirrors, flags, front wheels. The worst part. They're back in the rat shit on stuff. It's not. Dude, they pour it full of rat food. It's not the right part. And that's scary. Real nice. Let's do that first. Alright, so I'm not planning on plating this thing, but if you was going to, right now would be the perfect time. Engine's out of it. You've got room to get down to the frame rails. Got room to get down to the frame rails. If you see this little curve, this little bend, right there where that goes down, right in front of the strut tower's here. And there's that bend right there. That's where I would put a plate. On the inside, and over here it does the same on this other side. But if you're plating on the outside here, and you're allowed like a 12-inch bumper shot, you got your bumper here, You go 12-inch bumper shot. Go like here, and then go back a little bit, plate. And then if you're allowed a second plate, do a second plate. At least from what I understand about it, that's the best way to do it. I don't run many plate cars, so plating's not a big thing we do around here. Also, these cars love a solid motor mount. This little rubber grommet on. Take that off. And moves around right there. Set you something down in there and just weld it solid. And it won't go nowhere. Keeps it from breaking axles. I'm not going to do that. I'm not allowed to in the class it's going to be run in. We're just going to stick that grommet back on it. We're not allowed to build struts on this one, but we can weld for height. So I'm gonna pull these struts off, show you how to weld them. Alright, I'm sure everybody has a different method when it comes to welding these struts. What I always do is I just take me like a inch washer, 3/4 washer, cut it in half, and then down here on this metal piece, I set it down there, down here. I set it in there and just weld it to the black part and then to the chrome part just to keep it for height. You see what I'm doing a little bit better right there. See, I've got the washer set up there. I'm just going to weld it. Car isn't done. There's going to be a part 2. We still got to put a bumper cage in it, get the engine running for sure.